It's the roll up, it's the vibes, it's another logo talk. Gator Nation, what it do? You already know what time it is. A lot of smoke out of Gainesville this weekend. Gotta let you know what the smoke is. But before we get started, like, subscribe, hit that like button. Help us climb the algorithms and get this thing buzzing a little bit. Everything pertains to the vibes around Gainesville. You know where to find it at right here at Logo Talk. Everybody can tell you how tall a kid is, how fast he is, and when the official visit is. But you know who got the vibes right here, man. The Roll Up Network and Logo Talk. All right, let's get going. This past weekend was the final weekend for the University of Florida and Billy and the staffs to be able to get recruits on campus before early signing day, which is December 21st. The list was pretty impressive. A lot of position of needs and also stars at position of needs. A lot of these kids are highly touted kids that the big dogs like Alabama. I don't want to call Miami a big dog, but they're the ops. They're recruiting them. They're NIL big dogs, not on the field big dogs, but in the NIL world, they cause some static and you know some sleepless nights a little bit when it pertains to recruiting, man. But we had some guys that we're in it for, man. Mark Fletcher's another guy. John Walker, commit that is committed to UCF right now. Caleb Banks is a transfer guy that was on campus, so it's a little bit of everything, some transfer, some traditional recruiting, but nonetheless a very fun-filled weekend. Friday night had grown men of rival fan bases, just stand up, checking these kids' IG stories, doing very childish things, man, trying to see what's going on in the Ville. It's been a long time since our recruiting has caused this much distraction and this much noise when it pertains to elite guys down the stretch, man. So shout out to Billy and them guys for just pulling this type of stuff off. Early on in the cycle, Samson Uku Lola, the 6'5", 300-pound guy, offensive tackle, it looked like a Miami race to signing day. And I do think there was some amateur hour recruiting by my man Mario a little bit there. Um, Mario's a vet. He's landed some of the top recruits in the country in the past, so he has a lot of experience. But Mario did burn his official visit and also his in-home visit over the summer. Clearly, this kid hasn't decided. Recently, or this past weekend, he's official visited us, but he also did a couple unofficial visits for us, and we also went in home. If you look at that type of momentum, and traditionally in recruiting, that's a good sign for us. NIL changes things a little bit, so there's still some business that goes down after all these great visits. So I'm hearing that the visit was a 10 out of 10. That's what he rated it. Kid had a great time. A lot of production going on. We'll see what was going on behind the scenes with all these videos. But he's deciding before early signing day, December 15th, which is this week. So we'll see in a few days if this paid if this visit this weekend paid dividends. We'll find out this week. I feel good from what I'm hearing on our side. I think we hit it out of the ballpark from our marketing team, our NIL, everything that we're presenting as far as what we offer uh, program wise. I think we hit it out of the ballpark. Samson Uku Lola has made it very clear that this is definitely an NIL play. He's not shucking and jiving about it. He's straight up saying that there's a lot of business that needs to go down. He just got a pancake deal with Kodiak Pancakes or something like that today. So a kid that's just really about his marketing, really about his bag and business. So it's NIL play all the way until he signed. We'll see what's up with it. I feel very good where we at. John Walker, another guy that's a big need at a position of need. Defensive tackle is a spot that we gotta land guys at. Um, from not just from this recruiting class, but also in the transfer portal. Just it's a lack of talent at that spot. John Walker is a guy out of the I-4 corridor. He's in the Orlando area, Kissimmee, teammate with Jakeem Jackson. So we have some relationships there. It came down to UCF and us over the summer. He ended up committing to UCF, but shout out to Sean Spencer. He's been in his ear the entire time. Very consistent in this recruiting. We've had him on campus several times this fall. He just spent his official visit this weekend with us. I think we got the okay from moms. We still local. He's a kid that wanted to stay fairly close to home. We're still local. He left campus saying that he has a decision to make. I just like the momentum where we at with both of these guys. I spoke about Samson Ukunlola, the momentum, how it felt like Miami the entire way towards this signing day. The momentum is looking towards us, and also with John Walker, I'm feeling the same way. We'll see how it all plays out, but that's definitely a position of need. A guy that I think plays fairly early, a very important recruit, very very important. I like his game. Shout out to Sean Spencer. He's on the roll a little bit here. May as well talk about Caleb Banks while we're talking about defensive tackle. Transfer out of Louisville, originally from Michigan. Been on Louisville campus a couple years. The offers that came out for this kid after he hit the portal were pretty impressive. He got USC, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Auburn, and of course us. A very good kid. Got a kid that's 6'7", 320 pounds, odd pounds. I'm told that he could play defensive end or defensive tackle. We see him playing on the inside. A comparison would be Calais Campbell from Miami. Very big kid, 6'7", huge wingspan, a lot of upside. I think he's going to contribute right away and compete for playing time right away. If you read the Louisville message boards, they were upset that he was going. He's a developmental guy. Out of high school, he was ranked in the thousands, but some of these kids hit growth spurts, and that's another dope thing about the transfer portal is those kids that develop late, that had these long rangy bodies, they could go to a smaller program, develop their skills a little bit, and re-enter the recruiting market to go play for a bigger program or get in a bigger market NIL wise. So all this is just new territory. I think that's dope. Very good get by the staff. He had a few visits lined up, but we got him on campus. He had a great time. He called Florida his initial dream school as a kid. So he said once he made the visit and things went great, that he was just ready to just end it all. So we should have him on campus fairly soon. Really good get. Shot to Sean Spencer doing what he got to do on the trail, man. Who else we got? Mark Fletcher, man. Miami is the ops. You know, shout out to mine. Like I said, man, I don't. I like this square up with Miami. We don't have a real rivalry with those guys on the football field because we don't play them that often, right? Most of our beef with Miami is recruiting beef, and Mario Cristobal is running around town in prom loafers. I like that vibe. You know, he's a prom loafer type of guy. So it's coming down. They the ops again with Mark Fletcher, running back out of American Heritage, big bruiser guy. Miami landed a running back this past weekend in Chris Thomas. So each program have a guy. We have Trey Young Webb, who's a killer on the trail. I think Trey Young Webb's gonna close this deal right here as well. Shout out to my man Jabbar Jaloop, doing a great job recruiting running back and also coaching running back. Um, but my guy Trey Young Webb is out there recruiting and doing what he got to do on that trail. Uh, there was some smoke too about Trey Young Webb this past week, which was hilarious, right? Anytime these kids put out any tweet or anything, everybody lose their mind. Like everything's pertaining to them not coming to this program, right? Like, these kids got other stuff going on, and you trying to read in too many innuendos. Go touch some grass, go touch some cheeks. It's Saturday, everybody vibe. Trey Young is probably the leader of this class when it pertains to recruiting and getting everybody, all this momentum going. So I never foreseen that. My DMs went crazy. Wasn't a thing, but I like this. I like where we at with it. I think Trey Young closes here. He has a great relationship with Mark Fletcher. They talked about playing together in the past. If I had to put a percentage on Mark Fletcher, I'm gonna go back and put a percentage on the other guys too. Um, Mark Fletcher, I'm gonna go 60-40 Gators right now. That's how I feel. I think he's leading towards us. I know the family has more ties. They're Miami fans, but you look at our offensive production, the running back room, the offensive line, style of running we done on paper, we can show a lot. I'm hearing that he was impressed about a lot of things and also the direction where the program's going. We'll see. But I feel about 60-40 on Mark Fletcher. I'm going to go back to John Walker. I'm going to say 75-25 Gators with John Walker. I like us to get that flip. Samson Uku Lola, I'm going to go 60-40. There's still some business that could go down, but I'm going to go 60-40 Gators on Uku Lola. I like where we stand right there. A lot of momentum. We'll see what it do. Who else we had? I also like the vibes of just, Jakeem, Sharif, Dijon, Gavin Hill, all those guys, man. Jaden Robinson, all those guys on campus. It was a complete effort of not just the current players on the team, the recruits are on campus, the coaches. It's a lot of community. I love this. Is just a good sign as far as laying the foundation and trying to get that winning stuff going on a little bit, man. So shout out to all the young boys that showed up that when it wasn't their weekend for an official visit, but just to show some support to the guys they trying to get on campus with them, man. Um, who else we had on campus? Feel like I'm forgetting. Caden Jones, four-star defensive lineman out of Louisiana. I'm hearing his recruitment is down to us, A&M, and also Houston. I like where we at with his recruitment. I think this all on us. If he's a take or not, and when we decide if we're taking him, is the word that I heard. Could be wrong there, but I do feel good about Caden Jones. I think we bring him into this class. Um, Another position of need. Every position I've named has been a position of need. By the way, um, we're not just like, and I like it that it's the last weekend. We'll see if these guys can close. Tight end. Do not want to forget about my guy Jaden Platt out of Hazlet, Texas. Currently a Stanford commit. He hit the staff up, hit Peagler up, and said that he wanted to take a visit and he was interested. After Stanford fired their coach, they're looking for a new head coach. Another a player in his recruitment is Jimbo Fisher out there in Texas A&M. Uh, Jimbo should feel good about this recruitment. I know they're having their issues when it pertains to culture, flipping that roster. A lot of players hit the portal, so he's got a lot of change going on over there. But the kid is interested in Jimbo's offense. I like that they're prioritizing education. Whenever I hear the kids at Stanford, he interested in us. I don't really mind who the ops is, man. University of Florida is the top five public educational program. I expect us to land those type of kids that take education seriously. He's a kid that's looking to get into the engineering department or program, however you guys say it on college campuses these days. And I like where we're at in his recruiting as well. His parents left the campus very impressed, and he was also saying that he has a decision to make. Uh, does he take another visit to Texas A&M? I don't know, but right now I like where we stand in his recruiting, and like I said, the late momentum. The kid had an amazing time. Shout out to our media team, bro. All the media that hits the timeline, or social media, whatever your social media feed is, the content that hits that's coming from the University of Florida Media Department is top notch stuff. Very creative, very unique. Shout out to Hugh for bringing out all the exotic cars and whips. We've seen everything out there but a speedboat. So if they put some word out there, we may see a speedboat just go through the swamp, and he may be able to make that happen. You know, you just gotta be able to talk to the right people. I'm enjoying everything about this, man. It's gonna be a fun ride all the way to signing day, early signing day to be exact. It's been a lot of exit when it pertains to players getting in the portal. I know everybody's anticipating. I know we just brought in Caleb Banks, but everybody's anticipating the acquisitions now. The exits was always interesting. There's gonna be some more exits, but I'm interested in seeing who we bring on. How do we win and replenish this roster? Because we just had a mass exit. Excited to see where we go from here. But I got all the trolls lined up. I got all the memes lined up. I got some pancakes, some syrup, a little breakfast, vegan pancakes. You know how I am. I keep it lean, but pancakes nonetheless, man. We're gonna see what they do. Shout out to the roll up. Shout out to the Gator Nation. It's logo talk. Meet me here each and every week. Got a few more of these coming on the way. Stadium Miguel's about to scream at noon at 4 o'clock today. So if you can tap in to Stadium Miguel, 4 o'clock Monday, hits the streaming platforms tomorrow. It's the vibes. We out.